Good morning, you guys, and welcome back to my channel for another video. Today I'm going to share with you guys something that I think a lot of you will really want to add to your homeschool over the summer, for those of you who year-round homeschool like myself, or those of you who take the summers off but you like to have a little something to kind of just anchor your day, just like a touch point for everyone. Because let's be honest, abandoning all structure and rhythm in our homes over the summer can kind of lead to lots of fighting, boredom, all of the above. So for those of you that enjoy having something, just one thing, maybe 20-30 minutes a day, a read aloud, something like that, I've got an amazing resource to share with you guys from Campfire Curriculums, and I do want to thank them for sponsoring today's video. So if you've been watching my channel for years, you probably recognize that Campfire Curriculums is something new to our home and our homeschool that I started this past homeschool year. I started off with the Titanic unit that they offer, and I was so impressed and blown away, and we loved it so much that we continued using a Campfire Curriculums unit throughout our school year. After the Titanic unit, we went on into the fall, and we started with their fall, I can't remember the name of it, but it was like in giving thanks or something like that, and it was a wonderful unit to prepare our hearts for Thanksgiving. After that, we moved into the Christmas season, and we decided on they have two Christmas units, but the one that we did this year was Caroling Noel. After that, we took a little bit of a pause on it, and then in the spring, we completed the Resurrection unit study from Campfire Curriculums, celebrating the resurrection of our Lord. So this has been such a fun thing for me and my children to add into our homeschool. I personally added into our morning basket, and we spend 20 to 30 minutes a day reading from our Campfire Curriculums units. Anytime I share something with you guys, I am always asked, how do I incorporate it? That's how I do it. But please know that Campfire Curriculums can be used in any way that you would like. That is one thing I love so much about it. It is very versatile. In fact, if you've watched my curriculum videos this year, of the curriculum my children will be using for our upcoming school year, you'll know that my oldest daughter has a unit from Campfire Curriculums. It is called In the Eyes of an ER Provider, that she is going to be doing as an elective credit on her own. And so there are so many ways that you can use Campfire Curriculums, from morning basket, where you're just doing 20 to 30 minutes a day. You can turn it over basically to an older child as an elective credit, or you can use it as your full curriculum with their core connections. Now, core connections come with your units, and the core connections are the language arts, science, math incorporations that tie in with your unit study. So it can be used as an all-in-one, all-encompassing thing, or it can be used for your older children like I am going to as an elective, or you can do it in your morning basket or any time of day as you gather your children, or you could just use it as your history curriculum. The options are limitless, so please know that. Campfire Curriculums are PDF downloads, and once you have them for forever. Also, when you purchase a unit from Campfire Curriculums and you download it, you're going to get all of the levels. So there's early, then there's growing, and then there's advanced. Now, I prefer the advanced because I do have older children and my younger ones can keep up, but you have access to all of those. So it's really wonderful, because you might do it this year and you might use the growing section, and then next year you might come back, or the year after, and you might want to use the advanced one. So that's just a little bit about Campfire Curriculums, just because I know some of you are not familiar with them. The other awesome thing that I personally love as a proud American is the fact that Campfire Curriculums is veteran owned and operated. It was created by a combat veteran, which is going to tie in wonderfully with this unit that I have here to share with you. And I just think that it's beautiful. I love the work that they've done, and honestly, I really love supporting someone and a company who has served our country, and that is what is going to lead me into this unit study, which I have two to share with you. So the first one that I have is the United States military from Campfire curriculums, and then on the back side you'll see that I have Independence Day. Now the reason why I have both of these, because they are two separate units, is because the military unit leads really well into the Independence Day unit. So of course you can do them separately, or you can do one or the other, but you can also do both. And the military unit leads beautifully into the Independence Day unit. And so I wanted to share both of them with you guys. So obviously the United States military unit intertwines and takes you back through history. It touches on major wars back to the Revolutionary time period. It also gives you a ton of information on all of the branches of the military, their roles, their functions, all of those things. And so it just really deepens your understanding and appreciation for our military and the service that they give our country, the service their families offer, and it's just amazing. So this is really well done. I love it, and I'll show you guys a little bit more here in a second when we get into the flip through. On the back side is my Independence Day. Now this obviously is going to lead up to the 4th of July, which is why I'm sharing it with you guys now, but don't think that if you don't do it around the 4th of July that it wouldn't be a great unit study for your family, because it absolutely would. So the Independence Day unit picks up where the military unit basically ends. And what I love about this Independence Day unit, as I flipped through it and was looking through it, is that it really makes history come alive. It really causes you to pause and think about what it would have been like. It puts you in their shoes, and when you make those connections with history, and when your kids make those connections with history, it really comes alive, and it takes it off the page from being a dry textbook lesson, and really causes you to pause, reflect, and that is what makes the most impact when we study history. A lot of you guys know that my son, my child number 3, has been a lover of history for his entire life. He is so knowledgeable. He absolutely loves it. It is a passion of his, and he for the longest time has wanted to go into the military since he was very young. And obviously things can change, but it's just been a passion and an interest of his. And so when I saw the US military unit and then I saw the Independence Day unit, I thought to myself, this would be perfect for him. It would be great to do as a morning basket unit study, and we might do it that way, or I might offer it to him. I haven't fully decided. But again, there's so many ways you can use Campfire curriculum. So that's just a little bit about these two units. But now I'm going to show you guys a flip through so that you can get a better idea. Another thing I wanted to briefly mention is that I do print out all of my Campfire curriculums units at my house. I 3-hole punch them and I put them in binders like this. So I have all of our previous ones that we've utilized on my shelf, because I will come back to them in the future. And this is the way that I have it. I do not use the core connections that come with the units. I strictly just like this for morning basket time, conversational time, that kind of thing. The other thing I want to mention really quick before we get into the flip through is that there's no worksheets with Campfire curriculums. They have a whole method, the Campfire method, on the way that they like to present the information. And so it's reading and discussion and thoughts and conversation, which is my preferred way of teaching anyways. Worksheets have their time and place in homeschooling, in my opinion, and you don't need them here. So there's no worksheets involved with this. And so that makes it really, really enjoyable to teach it family style to multiple aged children. So now I'm going to show you guys a look inside this unit. Of course, I'll have the link to purchase it down below. The price is so great for what you get, and I just cannot sing their praises enough. We have loved all of the units we've done from Campfire Curriculums. So now let's take a look inside the U.S. Military and Independence Day Unit Studies from Campfire Curriculums. All right, so as you guys can see, I have the United States Military Campfire Curriculums unit here. I did print out the advanced guidebook just because I feel that that is the most appropriate for my children's age. So when you open it up, there's a lot of stuff that Campfire Curriculums includes that is basically included with every unit. It's going to tell you where are the worksheets. It's going to go over the Campfire method right here. It's going to tell you all of their sources. And it's going to give you optional activities as well as the links and resource pages. So I just put those off to the side. That way I'm not having to flip through those every time. So here's the supply list for projects. So here's your links and resource pages. This comes with every unit in Campfire Curriculum, so it's very easy for your kids to scan that QR code, find optional links, videos. It's so nice to have that on hand for every single unit. So now as we get into the actual unit, you can organize this the way that you want, but here is each of the lessons. So lesson 1 is on the Army. Lesson 2 is the Army Part 2. Then there's a section on the Medal of Honor, which they do put a disclaimer if you'd like to skip over that part. Lesson 3, the Air Force. Lesson 4, the Air Force. There's different aspects. Then 5 and 6 is on the Marines. 7, 8 is on the Navy. 9, 10 is on the Coast Guard. Lesson 11, Space Force. Lesson 12, Nations Who Fear Us or Fight With Us. And that is what is covered in this unit. So you can do it however you like. There's timelines, but basically here's lesson 1. Here's the information. They recommend setting a timer for about 30 minutes and then stopping. There's optional activities, so it makes it really clear, you know, the things that you don't have to do or want to do. And it's just so beautifully done. The information is incredible. And like I said, Campfire Curriculums is owned and created by a combat veteran. So I can't think of anyone else who would be better at creating a unit on this topic. There's lots of critical thinking, questions to ask yourself, classified documents concerning certain events. So just really awesome. Here's the interlude for the Medal of Honor salute. And I just think all of this is so important as we raise our children in the United States of America. They need to know the sacrifices that others have paid for their benefit. So I just love it. We're getting toward the end of it now, so you guys can get a feel for what it looks like. Now we are on to the Independence Day unit, which I put the cover on the back side. So there's that. In the season of Independence Day is there's a prologue, which kind of like sets the scene for your kids. Lesson 1 is on the taxes. Lesson 2, the massacre. Lesson 3, the party, the Boston Tea Party. Lesson 4, the war begins. Lesson 5, the Declaration. And Lesson 6, the United States. And then there's a bonus activity of a picture study. One thing that I really love that they include is the entire Declaration of Independence. I think every American should read that in its entirety. We have done that in our homeschool before, but it's been like a year and a half since we went through that, and so I think we're due for another visit. So really beautiful. It talks about, you know, the classic fireworks, and then again, you just read through it and set your timer for 30 minutes or however long you want to spend on it. It's gonna give you notes that are optional. It's going to have you read this aloud. There's your QR code for scanning if you want to visit any links pages. And here's like pausing for a deeper look. So again, that critical thinking aspect where you are actually conversating with your children, determining what you think, discussing, topics that are very important in our nation's history. And here's like it says pre-screen for younger children. It gives you optional things that you can do. And like I shared with you guys in a recent video, I am a pick and choose mom, not do all the things mom. So I love that Campfire Curriculums has those things already laid out as optional. So then I know like, okay, I'm looking at this as optional and I don't need to do it, or if I want to, we can. So it takes you all the way through, which is just amazing. I love it. I love these faith talks that they include. It brings it back to Christ. And then on the opposite side of that is the think tank. So if you're not a family of faith, then you have your critical thinking, which sometimes we do both of them because I like the questions they pose on both. Like this one says, are you a patriot? So that's a great question to ask anyone. So I love that they have these. It really just deepens it. Great conversation to have with your children. So that is a look at the Independence Day study. This is lesson 5. It gives you a cool teacher moment if you want to bring that aspect in. And then I have all the way back here the bonuses, the optional activities. So I like to lay mine out that way. It's kind of taken me a few units to figure out how I like to set them up. There is no wrong way, but that's just the way that I do it. I love the visual learning opportunities. That's the other thing about Campfire Curriculums is it appeals to so many different learning styles and preferences. So that is a look, you guys, at the Independence Day unit from Campfire Curriculums, as well as in the steps of the United States military unit from Campfire Curriculums. This unit would be great to do over the summer leading up to Independence Day if you're a year-round homeschooler. Even if you're not, if you're wanting something to kind of anchor your family, keep some structure and learning going throughout the summer, this would be wonderful. You could spend 20 to 30 minutes a day reading through it with your kids and you will get so much out of it, not only your children, but you as well. So I'll have a link to Campfire Curriculums down below if you guys want to check them out. I have fallen in love. They have so many fun units on there. If you're wanting to add fun and excitement into your morning basket or into your homeschool, I can't recommend these enough. We don't do them in place of our curriculum at this age and stage, like in place of history, because that's just my preference, but you absolutely could. But they have just added a whole layer of fun, a whole, dose of excitement on studying something done a little differently and just very discussional. So I love them. So that link will be down below. Thank you guys so much for watching. Give me a thumbs up if you enjoy curriculum flip throughs on my channel. I don't do them very often. So when I do, a thumbs up is super appreciated, and I will see you guys again really soon. Bye, friends.